going to affect your children, and it's going to affect the future of this valley.
It's either one or the other. There cannot be coexistence.
The average farmer doesn't have the money to spend to fight these kinds of things.
A genetically engineered organism does not occur naturally. The movement of pollen is a natural process, and it happens through wind events, from migrating geese, farm equipment that's not properly cleaned. When the pollen from a genetically engineered plant moves through the air, it carries with it specific genes that are owned by a seed company.
They have what they call buffer zones of certain areas where you should be able to grow to not be infected by certain things.
We don't have those kinds of distances available in this long, very narrow rogue valley of ours.
Farmers who had their crops contaminated had to destroy their crops because the corporate powers that had the GMO seed sued them, and the small farmer who could not afford really to defend himself had to destroy his crops.
If I suspect I'm contaminated, then I have to act as if I am contaminated, and a lot of my customers would want to have that assurance. If I can't sell them to the customers, then I don't have a business, basically.
How is that farmer going to support his family that crop year?
It doesn't really reward the farmers, it rewards the corporation that provides the seeds.
They take the money out of this valley. It's not being reinvested in this valley.
Many, many other farmers' livelihood is at risk if a conventional farmer who does not have genetically engineered crops sells a crop for export, and his crop inadvertently becomes contaminated, his crop is likely to be rejected. This is what happened last summer to an Eastern Oregon farmer with his wheat crop. His seed customers were in the Orient, and they initially rejected the purchase of his crop. And there are societies, there are nations in our world that do not want to have anything to do with genetically engineered seeds.
This southern Oregon Valley location is world-renowned as a place for quality seed breeding. A lot of the seeds are grown in this area. This is a special place. If they know that we are contaminated, they do not want to buy our seeds anymore. We are off the list.
Those farmers need to reassure the seed buyer there's no cross-contamination. Who's out there that is going to buy it if I have been contaminated with genetically engineered genes? And most of the time the answer is no one.
You know, in the future, if you let one in, they're all going to come in, and before you know it, there's not much you can do about it. Well, I'd say as soon as you start signing up with Monsanto or Syngenta to start growing their crops, that you give up all your rights to do anything.
You can't save seed from the GMO. That's something that you have to purchase from the corporation. When plants live in a certain environment, they adapt to that environment, and they are more congenial. They get along better in that environment.
If you choose not to care about such things, that's the person's right. However, it is not ethical, it's not right to prevent somebody else that does care and that is upholding a tradition of tens of thousands of years. Even if I were someone that didn't care about it, but I saw that other people that did care were being harmfully affected, then that's wrong. And I think the law should stand for the people that are affected.